Welcome to Back on the Broomstick,
a modern witch's spoken word grimoire,
where two witchy friends from way back are reconnecting to their pagan roots after a long period of mundanity.
We're rewalking the path of the wise and trying out all the latest spells, rituals, and magical theory in today's witchcraft and pagan practices.
So grab your wand and your incense,
your cauldron and your crystals,
and join us
as we get
Back on the Broomstick.
Hi, and welcome to Back on the Broomstick. I'm Layla, and on this episode, we're talking everyday magic to help get you from Imbolc to Ostara. February 1st is Lammas in the Southern Hemisphere, where they're celebrating the first of 3 harvest festivals, and it's Imbolc here in the Northern Hemisphere, where we're celebrating the growing light and the first faint glimmers of spring. Since this is a time of cold weather, deep snow, and even deeper depths of seasonal cranky shut-in disorder, we've decided to bring you some of our favorite, mundane, everyday, super simple spells to help you bring more light and hope to your late winter blues.
And I'm Shell, and I would be remiss if I didn't also remind all of our wonderful friends that it's also Layla's birthday.
That's right. When this episode comes out, my birthday will be in just a couple days, right alongside our lovely Imbolc, or Lammas if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Thank you, Shell, for reminding everybody that I am older now.
And I also can't help but be reminded that Groundhog's Day is right upon us. You know, we've talked about this every year in the past, and I'm so torn on this little critter, on whether he knows what he's talking about or if he's just leading me astray.
Blasphemy, Shell. Punxsutawney Phil is a saint. He is a prognosticator of the highest order. He knows what he's talking about. How dare
But he's not always right.
Yes, he is. Even when he's wrong, I'm sure there's a good reason for it. That Pennsylvania saint critter shall not be
He's got to be right
disparaged.
somewhere, right?
That's right. He's
got to be right
sometimes. That's right. It's a 50-50 shot, Punxsutawney. We're counting on you, man. We're counting on you.
I feel like this burst of life coming about, and I know that everyone around can feel it. It's here. Imbolc is here, and it's time to gear up for the transition to Ostara, gear up for the great thaw, and to get our butts back in gear again.
Don't forget, Shell. The first is Imbolc and my birthday. The second is Saint Punxsutawney Phil's Day. And the third is the anniversary of Back on the Broomstick.
I wish I had champagne right now, because I'd be like, pop, 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 pop.
And you know, we were actually reminded by a listener on Spotify that this is actually our golden birthday for the podcast.
What's that mean?
A golden birthday is when the age you are turning is the same number as the day you were born.
Oh.
For people like me who were born on the 1st, this kind of sucks because my golden birthday, I was 1. Even if that was something that my parents knew of and would have celebrated, I was 1, man. It's much more fun when your golden birthday is like teens or higher, because then you can have a cool party.
Yeah, I was 31.
Yeah. For our podcast, our golden birthday is coming up in just a couple days, and I am super excited. And I don't know yet what we should do for it. Our first year, we got brooms. Wonderful besoms made by the fabulous hags over at Three Moon Brooms.
I love those chicks.
I do too. They're fantastic. You guys should check them out if you haven't. Oh my goodness. Artisans. And second year, we got broom tattoos when we went down to Sacred Space. What are we going to do this year for our golden freaking anniversary? If our listeners, if you guys have any ideas of how
glamour
we can celebrate,
shots of us riding brooms.
Glamour shots?
Wait, is glamour shots a thing anymore?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think they should be. You know, you had to drink a lot of alcohol back in the day to get up and go to glamour shots and do the dress up. Yeah. But broom riding, interesting. I like it. I'm kind of liking that idea, Shell. So maybe we'll go.
But yeah, if you guys have any tips on something we could do for this fabulous 3rd anniversary, shoot us an email, a message, a DM, send a homemade pigeon to us. Do what you got to do. Get us a message. Tell us what we should do.
And don't worry about getting it to us after the 3rd, because since this is our golden anniversary,
we got time.
I've decided all of February is Back on the Broomstick month. This is our celebration month.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yay us. All right. So now, another thing that I'd like to celebrate, Shell, is people have been really loving the tarot pulls at the beginning of our episodes.
I've been really loving the tarot pulls.
It's a really nice glimpse into your ginormous tarot stash. So I'm hoping you have a new deck for us today and you'd be willing to pull another card.
Are you kidding me? Of course I have a new deck.
What have you got? Pull something amazing out of your stash for this episode.
Okay, so I have decided that for this episode, in honor of our upcoming Friday the 13th, dun
Ooh.
dun dun, that I wanted to use the H.P. Lovecraft Tarot.
Ooh, how dark and interesting. Just from the book you just held up, I can tell that it is going to fulfill all your Cthulhu-esque dreams with the creepy images and dark colors. So, what have you got?
A couple things I want to point out about these cards is, first of all, the backing of them is so gorgeous. It's a
Oh,
solar system with
wow.
all the moon phases on it.
Looks like Saturn with the rings in the center, maybe?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
And then the different, like, multiple moons in different phases around it.
Very pretty.
But these cards are very reflective of H.P. Lovecraft's work. So if you are a fan of that author, let me tell you, worth the purchase.
Now, if you don't know Lovecraftian imagery or storytelling, H.P. Lovecraft is known for very dark and sinister tales. So, a tarot deck that's in the style of H.P. Lovecraft is going to have creatures, monsters, lots of tentacles.
I'd call it dark and sinister. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a horror vibe.
absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely how I would describe it. But gorgeous pictures, gorgeous imagery.
Who's the artist for that deck?
It just says on the box by Diane Nam. It doesn't necessarily list an artist.
Maybe she's both the artist and the author.
That could be. That could be.
Hey, witches. Future Layla here. Just letting you know that the H.P. Lovecraft Tarot is by Diane Nam. It was published by The Bookshop Ltd. In August of 2025. I was unable to find any information on whether Diane Nam is both the artist and the author or where the images came from. This H.P. Lovecraft Tarot is not to be confused with the Lovecraft Tarot deck that's from Llewellyn.
Okay, so let's see what we got for today. Whew, okay, so we've got the death card here.
Oh, wow. You know how some people say cards seem to follow them?
Yeah.
I think one of our listeners, who's actually a Crystal City community member, has had the Queen of Pentacles following her around. And we even pulled that card here.
Yeah.
But that death card seems to be following me around. I think I'm in for some big changes this year.
Yeah. This card's pretty intense. This card reminds me, for anybody who's Gen X, it would remind you of the Iron Maiden album cover.
It looks like Santa Muerta with Death's Head, with the
Yep.
long robe. It's like oranges and purples.
Now, when you look up this, the imagery that you get from some of the descriptions in the book of this is just fabulous. So I just want to read you from the accompanying book, just the first paragraph on the death card. Hastur, an entity of the Cthulhu mythos mentioned in Lovecraft's The Whisper of Darkness, is a grim reaper monstrosity. He could pierce a victim's skull and siphon out its brain.
Well, that sounds gross and not a good way to die.
But for as much as that's crazy descriptive,
Yeah.
I definitely feel that this is kind of a card of metamorphosis. You're shedding old things, habits, people, whatever the case may be, and almost like a rebirth.
It sounds like it definitely follows the typical death card meaning. Is there
Yeah.
any other image? Is it just that robed death figure on the card, or is there any other imagery on it?
There are some, I don't even know how to explain it, almost like tentacle-like things in the background.
Typical Lovecraftian.
That have, I guess, claws is what they are, claws coming off of them. But the robe almost has look to it, almost like, I guess, antlers is the only way I can explain it. Almost like if Cernunnos is the Grim Reaper is the look of the card. The way the robe kind of horns up, it looks like it's got multiple horn points on the top of the robe. But essentially, it's a very like yellowish, orangish red card with that skull looking right at you.
Now, the only thing I know about Hastur in the Lovecraftian universe is that he's a god that was originally peaceful. I think he was originally like a shepherd, and he was a gentle god. I don't know what would have caused him to go dark, but that kind of fits with the theme of death and transformation. He goes from being this gentle god of the pastures and benevolent to being the god of the underworld, the god of death and transformation. That kind of fits. I like that.
Yeah, no, I definitely like the card. I think it's a lot more simple of a death card than most, but sometimes you get that deeper meaning in the simplicity of the art. So,
Yeah.
yeah, love this deck.
When you're holding it up, I'm seeing the tendrils of choices in the past that are coming to help further that transformation, that are going to inform that transformation, be part of that transformation. And I definitely feel like this is a good thing. Like that orange color, it says life to me. It says,
Bringing back the light.
yeah, bringing back the light. So I think my feeling with this card matches yours very much. It feels like death light almost, Lite and Light, because it feels like not a bad transformation, but like a almost like a gentle transformation, things from the past helping you to transform into what you need to be.
Kind of easing into it more than kind of that blunt
Yeah,
force.
that's what I felt too. Interesting coming from such a dark deck that that's such a gentle card.
Interesting that death is being a gentle card in this particular pull.
Hey, you never know. You never know. And if that's the card that I have to walk with this year, I think I'm kind of glad that it's a little gentler now.
Hey, don't knock it, man.
That's right. All right, well, cool. So, pulling tarot cards is something that we've talked about a lot recently. You know, you've been feeling a very strong draw towards more tarot. I've been feeling a strong draw towards more tarot. Diving into that and into these themes and really, really embracing that has been an important part of this new year for both of us, I think.
I think with this darker half of the year that we're starting to slowly creep and crawl out of, I took a lot of solace in tarot this last tick of the wheel, notch in the wheel. Tarot's never a bad thing to fall back on, and I find myself doing it over and over again. And so yeah, I'm ready to re-deep dive back into tarot again. I feel like I maybe haven't done as many readings or pulls as that I used to and want to, and I do definitely feel that drawback to it.
Same. I try to regularly do a tarot pull, but lately it's felt,
Lately, it's felt daily.
yeah, it's the light half of the year, but it's still very freaking dark. You know, we're just clawing our way up out of the dark right now. And in a lot of ways here in the United States, we're clawing our way through the dark, I guess. And so having that touchstone of something that I can turn to that offers advice, it's soothing, it offers interesting perspectives, having that has been a really good meditation for me. Even though the light isn't exactly here yet, tarot's been kind of that light for me, that lifeline.
Leading the way to it. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And where I has maybe gone a week or a couple weeks in between, it seems like a pulling every day now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It does seem like it's kind of ramping up, I think. And that goes along with the theme of our episode today because it's Imbolc. Imbolc is coming up here in just a couple days when this episode comes out. And Imbolc to Ostara is what, like roughly 6 weeks ish?
Roughly-ish, yeah.
And this time is frozen. It's cold. It's hard to do anything. We just got done with what a lot of people were calling the real Imbolc when that storm came through, like that last gasp of winter, that big storm that came through just recently that
Those
dumped.
2 feet that we got.
Yeah. And the temperatures just plummet and they're still down there. They're still freaking cold. So, since it's a crappy time of year, it's a good time to feather your nest, to take care of yourself, to take care of things inside. Make your inside space lighter, more beautiful, more matching of the season and the growing light. But also, I'm tired. I'm depressed. The world is shitty. It's cold. The snow's out there. Nobody wants to go outside. So I want simple,
Easy.
easy to do spells that a lazy witch can do when they have no motivation.
Low effort.
There you go. So, with that in mind, we've come up with some of our favorite mundane, do every day, simple, low effort magic to help you claw out of the hole of winter, to get up into the light of spring.
Now, folks post about this recently on the podcast discussion group on Facebook, and it warmed my beautiful heart. I'm going to say the very first thing I would always think of and always suggest in a mundane magic kind of way this time of year is going to be a simmer pot.
You do love a good simmer pot.
I do.
I'm going to call back to a recent post, probably one of the ones you're talking about on our Facebook group as well, because we have talked about simmer pots a lot, including my recent chemical warfare attempt in my own kitchen with a simmer pot, where I put maybe a handful or two too many cloves in the simmer pot and paid the price. But our listener had a problem that I think other people have as well. So I'd like to kind of talk about the problem with simmer pots.
Tell us the problem. What's the problem?
It's lack of smell.
Smell.
That's right. One of the posts that you're referring to on our Facebook discussion board group was from Brenda. And Brenda mentioned that she recently did a simmer pot, and everyone says they smell so good, and she smells nothing. If she sticks her nose in the pot, she can smell it. But other than that, she said she's not getting anything in her house. So our listeners had some good ideas for her. And Shell, you're the queen of simmer pots. I know you've got some good ideas.
I do. Now, some of mine might be a little less traditional, but sometimes, depending on what it is or what I'm doing or what I'm using it for, I have been known to add essential oils into my water. And simple things like I have gone to the grocery store and got an orange extract. And although I have put orange slices in there, I've also put in a couple dabs of orange extract. So I have been known to use some extracts and oils to kind of enhance that smell.
And if you do that, just be cautious when you add those because they can be very volatile. There's a couple things I like to do to make them smell stronger. Is I like to start with anything other than water. Juice of some sort, either apple juice, lemon juice, cider, but start with something other than water, and that gives you a good base. Add lots of spices, maybe not as many cloves as I added, but lots of spices. And then the other thing that helps a simmer pot smell very brightly, very strongly is thyme. Not the herb, but the actual thyme, waiting time.
Patience, my
That's
friends.
right. When the ingredients break down, that's very often when they'll release their scent, once they've heated up and started to actually cook. So if you're chopping up oranges and apples to put in there, those are big. They're going to take a little bit of time to start cooking and breaking down
Breaking down, yeah.
before they'll release the scent. So one thing you can do to hurry that up is muddle them a little bit in a mortar and pestle or just pound them a little bit, break them up a little bit before you put them into the simmer pot. And that can help the scent to come out a lot too.
You brought up a very good point that I totally forgot about mentioning. I like to use an apple juice base. I feel that water almost mutes some of the smell. I don't know
Yeah.
why I feel that way, but I just feel like water is a scent muter in this particular situation. But also, when it comes to things like the apples and the oranges, make sure you're putting in all the peels and everything as well. I mean, this is more for your end goal, not necessarily for visual presentation. So, I throw in all those peels and all of that. Waste not, want not. It all goes in.
Yeah, if this is not something that you're going to drink, don't worry so much about what it looks like. Put in the rind, put in the stems, put in the
The
peels, put everything in
core.
there, the
Yep.
core. You can throw things in like pine needles that you might not necessarily. I mean, I know some pine you can drink, but not all of it. You can throw things like essential oils that are not safe to ingest, but are
Right.
good for the smell. You can put in there.
Right. And if I'm going to put pine in and I'm not drinking it, I also try to make sure I get some bark as well, because the bark does hold a good scent.
Just having it on a low simmer is going to take you a long time before you smell it. So, okay, this is probably cheating, but I like to have it kind of hot in the beginning to go to heat up a little and go faster, and then I turn it down to a simmer.
She brings it to a boil.
I kind of do, but that helps it to all mush up and smell better faster, in my opinion. But you definitely have to watch it. You don't want all the liquid to boil off and burn down.
I just love how you start this with patience, folks. So then you're like, yeah, I just
Turn
boil
up
it
the
from the
heat.
get-go.
That's right. Turn up the heat, damn it. Yes, I'm good at preaching patience. I'm not very good at practicing patience.
Now, what would be one of your favorite go-to mundane forms of magic this time of year?
All right. Simple, easy, very Imbolc appropriate. Candle spell. And I'm calling this one Rise and Shine, We're Doing Magic. And it's for those days when you don't want to get out of bed. This is a spell for those days when you've got to get up before the sun. It's freaking cold. It's freaking dark. And you're like, why do grown-ups not
Why?
get snow days? This spell requires that you prepare ahead of time. It's super hard. You have to make sure you have a candle and a lighter accessible in the morning.
I don't know about that.
I know, so hard to do, so hard to do. Now, I'm going to say that you should keep this candle by your bed, but since Shell is the daughter of a fire inspector, and I have heard this the entire time I have known her, can you please tell the
You
people
gotta
what I'm
be
about to
careful.
say?
You gotta be careful. Like, be cautious. Keep it, keep it away from like all things that will just like burn. Just be
Perfect.
smart. Be smart. Be a smart candle user, please. I beg of you.
And do not fall back asleep after you light
No.
this candle.
Oh my
Do
God. Oh
not.
my God, no. Oh
Just
my
don't.
God, no. Just
Okay.
don't.
So now that we got the PSA out of the way, so what you're going to do, this is a spell to help give you a little bit of that Imbolc light, that growing sunshine, and help get you out of bed. The idea is you have a candle. Maybe make it across the room on a dresser so you have to get out of bed before you light it. But get up out of bed, light the candle, and just gaze softly at the candle flame. This is going to be easy because you're going to have the early morning stares and you're going to be like all silly and unfocused and staring off into space anyway. So do that while looking at the candle. And the idea is to come up with one thing, just one thing that you are willing to get up and show up for today. It can be simple. Maybe the one thing I'm willing to show up for today is I have an excellent lunch date with my bestie. Or I'm going to get up today because I get to go get my favorite coffee on the way to work. I don't care what it is. Pick one thing that you are willing to do that makes you happy for the day and think about it. Whisper it. Mocha latte, mocha latte, mocha latte. Say it 3 times. Whisper that shit, whatever it is. Say it while you're gazing at the flame and hold the idea of that thing in your mind and in your heart. Imagine what it would feel like, how good that mocha latte will smell, will taste, how warm it will be in your hands, how warm it will make your belly, how awake it will make your brain. Think of all of those things, everything. Imagine all of it. Feel all of it. And imagine how you'll feel once the thing is done, once you've drunk all that mocha latte, once you've done the thing that you want to do. How will you feel? Happy, full, accomplished. Imagine all of that as well while you're gazing at the flame. Then breathe in deeply and blow out the flame. This spell has gathered all of that energy. It has allowed you to live through that moment and bring the energy of that successful moment into your heart, into your body. And now that will help to give you that motivation and that energy to start your day.
I feel like I would like that a whole lot better if you had a specific scented candle where the scent kind of went along with what you're doing, but I just feel like that particular thing totally should go with a scented candle.
I love that, especially if it's, like a coffee scented candle or something,
They actually have those.
right? Or like a citrus, something bright, something to help get you up there. But that's a good point too, because setting habits is really good for your brain. And if you have a scent that you're used to every day, when you get up and you set this intention for something that you're going to show up for the day, just that smell alone can add to that, can help give you that motivation.
Now, I'm gonna bounce back to tarot because, well, that's what I always end up doing. And one thing I like to do right around this time of year is just a really simple one card pull. What seeds am I trying to plant that I should nurture? What should I be nurturing right now to be prepared to grow and expand and develop? Just like with any one card spread, you just shuffle that shit up, pull your card, and there you go. But it's really this particular pull, you're going to think of that card as what am I ready to plant? What am I ready to nurture? What am I ready to ramp up? What direction am I going? And I've been doing that literally every day for the last couple of weeks. So I think that that is a good, very Monday. Just pull one card because, this time of year, you're tired, it's dark. Commitment's rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Commitment is rough this time of year, but you can commit to one card. So it's a good way to kind of get you back in that habit of tarot again, as well as focusing on where do we need to be putting our energy right now? What seeds do we need to get ready to plant? What are we willing to nurture and not nurture. Because sometimes in the card, I have not only seen the things I need to put my energy and space into, but also things I need to pull my energy back from.
Magical weeding is just as important.
Yeah, and you can glean a lot of things from a one card pull. Things don't need to be elaborate with spreading out half a deck. You just got to kind of become one with that card and feel the message that it's giving you. And that message can sometimes be twofold. So I really have been liking that. Pull for what you need to nurture.
That's really great this time of year too, because new year, people are making resolutions or bingo cards for the year, or setting up their intentions, and being able to pull one card and get into that habit of just pulling one card can set you up for a whole year of doing that. You know, you can
Right.
really start to set those habits now by doing that one card and grow it just as the season is growing and the year is growing.
They say you do something 23 times consecutively, and it's all of a sudden a habit after that. So
So if you do this one card pull every day from Imbolc to Ostara, you've pretty much set yourself up for a habit.
a good routine.
I like that. My next one, I call it Your Bag is Blocking Your Blessings. I was in a mood. What are you going to do, man?
What's in this bag?
So basically, this is a decluttering spell for your purse, your backpack, your wallet, whatever it is. And the idea behind this is spring cleaning, basically. We all know that blocked energy means that you're not getting the blessings that you want, that things in your life aren't moving freely. Maybe you're not getting the money. Maybe your work's not going well. Maybe your relationship or your friendships aren't going well. Things in your life, energy blockages can cause some of that problems. Well, in your mundane life, that energy can get blocked up by physical things. So this spell takes your bag, purse, backpack, whatever you carry daily that's got your essentials in it, your keys, got your wallet or your credit card, you carry your money. Maybe, I mean, I don't know, I carry Advil in mine because I feel like I got a headache 24/7, I swear. So you carry all your favorite herbs and shit in it, right? Do you have your purse right there, Shell?
I do.
If you open it up, tell me the first descriptive word that comes to your mind when you open up your purse.
Fuck.
That's good enough. They're usually cluttered. They usually become catch-alls for everything.
But if you need something, the chances of it being in my purse are at least 80%.
And that is a wonderful energy and a wonderful magical item to carry around, something that's always got what you need in it. However, if you need to sort through dirty tissues, old wrappers, receipts that you're not going to use anymore, junk mail, one glove from the set where you can't find the other one,
14 different chapsticks.
you have to sort through all of that to get to the one thing you need. That's blocked energy. That's taking your time. That's taking your sanity. That's taking away from you. And just like cleaning your house helps to allow that energy to flow more freely, so does cleaning your bag. So the idea here is you take your bag or your purse and you think of it as a repository for all of your most sacred things. It's pretty important. I mean, if you lost your bag, you'd be pretty upset. It's got your identity in it at a lot of times. It has a lot of, like you said, reach into it. It's probably got what you need in there.
My debit card and a tarot deck.
That's right. So these are pretty important magical things. So take your bag. Think of it as a magical receptacle that holds some of your favorite, most important things. Honor that idea. Then dump that shit out. Empty the whole thing. Clean it. Make sure it's clean. Clear it all. And the whole time, your intention is I'm cleansing my space to allow energy to flow freely. What I no longer need, I let go of to make room for what I do need. Say it fancy, say it rhyming if you want, but that's the idea. Dump it out, clean it, honor it. And then when it's empty, first fill it with intention, abundance, always having what I need at my fingertips, responsibility, preparedness, things like that. And then put in each item that you will use. Don't put back anything dirty or used or that you're not going to use in the future. Just the important stuff. Put it all back with intention. Then make sure to also put in there when you're putting it in, maybe take a coin or a token, things that represent what you want in your life. Maybe a lucky coin for abundance. Maybe a small representation of a house or a car, something you're working towards. You could put a fake prescription in there for good health, something like that that you would always carry in your purse. Tokens to remind you of what you want to fill your life with. Abundance, health, joy, love, whatever it is. Put those back in the purse and then you're done.
I love that. Now, I am so proud of myself that I could burst
What you
to
got?
be able to tell you this. So, one thing I've been trying to do is I have been keeping all of the plants alive.
They look
Like
good too. They look healthy and green and growing. Look at that nice little corner in your space. That's awesome.
everything is like just it's growing, it's good, it's fabulous. So one thing I have been trying to do, and I kind of got this from a couple different people. You've been one of them over the years. I've been talking to the plants.
Oh, yeah, I am that crazy lady.
I'm
Yes.
like, all right, we can get through this, people. You and I together can keep you alive. We've got this. Layla has faith in us. We've got this. And I'll be damned, it is starting to work. And I have them near a window, and sometimes windows are a little chilly. I've wrapped them in blankets. I put a little blanket at the base of each of them around the dirt. But what I've done is every day, I've been like, all right, we've got this. We can get through another day. And I've created, silly as it sounds, I've created a relationship with these plants.
Not silly. If it's silly, then I am one whacked out chick because I have a relationship with mine too.
But the act of, I think, acknowledging them every day is helping all of us get through the winter with them.
And all joking about being a crazy plant lady aside, there are actually studies that show that interacting with indoor plants help to reduce stress. They increase creativity. They can help with focus. They improve your mood. They do so much for mental health. It's not surprising to people who already have a ton of plants in their house because you can feel that. I mean, when I used to grow cannabis, my favorite place to meditate was in my grow tent, not just because of the light, but because just being with green, growing things that are breathing and living. It's amazing. It's a really wonderful, beautiful feeling.
And I had thought about that when we were talking about doing mundane magics today. And I was like, sometimes the power of acknowledgement goes a long way. I think for it being the brink of February, and two of these plants, I think, didn't you give me like a year ago?
Yeah.
And another one you gave me for my birthday, like, which was a while ago in terms of how long I can keep things alive. And I think acknowledging its existence every day, and, you know, whether that be a plant or an animal or a spirit, what have you, I think there's importance in that acknowledgement because, well, because of a lot of reasons. But for me, it's almost like I didn't forget you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's keeping that relationship going. And like I said, whether that's with spirit, with plant, with animal, whatever the case may be, sometimes just the sheer acknowledgement, I'm not sitting here performing rituals with the plants by any stretch at the moment, but I am creating that connection
Mhm.
with the spirit of the plant, and I'm keeping that connection with that spirit of the plant open and valid and in the forefront of my mind, which then in turn makes it live longer.
Yeah, something as simple as taking time when I go through and I water the plants in my house and I spend a little time, maybe I pluck some dead leaves, maybe take a cutting or take care of them. It's almost like a meditation, especially in the depths of winter right now. Being able to walk around my house and see green living things soothes my soul. It makes me feel less disconnected from the earth and helps me to feel a little more alive, I guess, a little more green. And that's why I like giving you plants. That's why I like giving people plants because I like that feeling that makes me feel good and happy when I'm missing the sun and the outdoors in the middle of winter. I like being able to look at that nature. And so I like giving that to other people. I'm glad you have that, especially when you're in a place like I know your office where we record, some of the energy in that area isn't necessarily the best. And so having plants, being able to take a plant that you have cared for and put that reciprocal energy in, it's made you happy, you've made it happy, you've had conversations with it. Putting a plant like that in a space of your house, maybe where you have stagnant energy or maybe where you have negative energy, that can help to change that and turn it around.
Yeah, it's almost like one hand helping the other.
Yeah. And if you have a spot in your house where the vibes are off, the first thing you should do is maybe look to declutter it, rearrange it, try to get that energy to flow either more smoothly or in a different way. And putting a plant there or something that you really enjoy can help to change that vibe, can help to change that energy. Especially if it's something like Shell, where you've been talking to it, you've been caring for it, and creating a relationship with it over time, over a whole year. That's a very powerful relationship. And now it's your ally. Now, if you're like, hey, spider plant, I'm sticking you in this spot where I know the energy's a little off. Could you do me a solid and help make it a little brighter, a little more interesting? And usually they're pretty good with that. They're excellent energy warriors.
So yeah, I'm surprised that I'm saying this, but being connected with your plants of space is a good connection ritual right now. Because it, like you said, you see that green, you feel that green, and it doesn't seem so far away.
I'm not surprised because one of the spells that I like to do this time of year involves new plants, actually. My husband gets, I wouldn't say he gets SAD, the seasonal affective disorder, but a lot of us get a little touch of that. And one of the things he absolutely loves and will bring a smile from him every time are hyacinths. Just the smell of that flower, the sight of that flower will bring a smile to him. Now, he's a big dude, big guy, big beard, long hair, Viking looking guy. Pink hyacinths, man. He will literally go
Melts every
gaga,
time.
melt him right down. But this time of year, you can start to get some of those flowers. You can get the hyacinth bulbs, daffodils,
Yep.
tulips. Bring something like that, even if it's just going to be short lived. Now, tip, if you bring those hyacinth bulbs into your house and let them bloom, you can plant them and they will bloom again next year. But bring them into your home for that little bit of scent, that little bit of life, that growth. And that's a spell in and of itself to bring that joy and that life into your house.
Sometimes we just need a little nature inside this time of year.
That's right. All right. So I got one last mundane spell for you.
Okay, what you got?
So the first one was, kind of a get up and go spell. This spell is more for the end of the day, I guess. And I call it, I can't control my life, but I can control this bed. And this spell is as simple as making your bed. Now, I know not everybody does this, and I am one of those people that was a very fervent believer in, why the hell should I make my bed? I'm just going to get into it and mess it up again.
But let me tell you, there's something to be said about crawling into a fresh bed.
You are 100% correct, because there's actually scientific studies that have been done on people who make their beds and finds that they are happier, more productive, and calmer at home.
My grandma was right.
Right? Weird. So I did start to become one of those people that makes my bed. And in my cluttered, crazy, disconnected world, having a made bed surprisingly has brought a lot of comfort. It makes me feel soothed. It makes me feel less stressed. And at the end of the day, it's almost like a gift I'm giving myself to future me. At the end of the day, having that bed that's all fresh made, crisp sheets climbing into it, literally a gift.
Yeah.
When you first wake up, after you get up, you do your rise and shine, we're doing magic spell. Right after that, your next spell is going to be make your bed. Maybe you've got a freshening spray. They have linen sprays that you can get to spray on your pillows or your bed. You can make one yourself.
Actually, I just use Florida water.
What's going on in your bed that you need Florida water? It does smell really good, though.
I'm just making sure that everything stays good in my bed.
All teasing aside, though, Florida water is really good in your magical practice as general cleansing, protection, and attracting good energy. Plus, it smells fantastic. The purpose of Florida water is added when it's created. So if you just have general Florida water, it's just a general all-purpose spell component. You could pick an oil or something that's for sheets, make one yourself. But choose it with an intention, maybe a little more romance in your bed. Maybe you want less romance in your bed. Maybe you need more sleep or relaxation, but make a bed spray with that intention, with oils and herbs that are for that intention. Don't make it too heavy, because while putting your head on a pillow that smells lightly is very nice, heavy scents give me a headache. So go light if you're going to do this. So make your bed, pull everything off and spray it with the spray. You're doing a spell here. You're doing a ritual, and then put everything back on. And as you layer it, think of layering good intentions. I'm freshening this to bring fresh light, fresh love, I'm bringing relaxation, comfort, serenity, whatever it is you want to bring in. As you're layering that bed, think of it like a spell lasagna. Layer in all the different things that you like as you're making your bed. Then, after you've misted and made and layered, step back, take a look at it, all nice and neat and perfect. You got your pillows up there, you've smoothed all the wrinkles, everything is beautiful. Acknowledge the work that you've done. You did that. You made that perfect. You created order out of chaos. And you can do that for the rest of your day as well. You have created space and order and a gift for your future self. So when you come back later that night, it's all prepared. Your day is behind you and everything is ready for you to climb in and be refreshed with all that energy that you set for yourself earlier in the day. Now, it took me longer to describe this than it's actually going to take you to do it. It only takes a minute or so to make your bed. So this is simpler than it sounds, and it has bigger benefits than you'd think.
The only thing I would add to that is I also am a fan of putting sachets under my pillow sometimes, especially lavender sachets. And you can just put a little bit of whatever else sometimes I put rose in it, sometimes I've put sage in it, sometimes I put bay leaves in it, depending on where I'm headed with it. But I like little sachets because they can kind of give you that lasting aroma point in your mind to focus on as you fall asleep or as you wake up.
Sachets are perfect for spell work as well. Not just the mist that you can put on there. If you want to draw dreams, you can put a dream pillow next to or under your pillows, or a dream sachet. Maybe you need more luck or abundance, or you need love or self-love. Make the sachet for that and put it under your pillow when you make your bed. The idea is that you're choosing the energies that you want in your space. You're creating order out of chaos. You're choosing the energies that you want to have come in, and you're refreshing it and getting it ready for the day. By making your bed, you're taking care of what needs to be done and literally taking care of yourself. So you are setting the intention for you and for your day of self-care and of getting things done. And it surprisingly works.
Yeah.
The National Sleep Foundation has done studies and found that your mood is improved, your sleep quality is improved. Orderly sleep environments help you fall asleep faster, get better rest. And we all know that sleep is so important for our health and mental health, for our stress levels, cortisol levels. So this little spell can have far-reaching implications. You mentioned earlier about habits.
Yep.
Now, I was not a bed maker, but I set a little challenge like this for myself for just a month to make my bed every day for a month and then to see if it made any difference. And it went great. I loved it. It was really nice having a clean space. I definitely noticed improvements, but I did not set the habit. So I don't know if that's exactly true. However, when I do make my bed, I definitely notice the benefits. So if you do this from Imbolc to Ostara, now you've set yourself up to have these good habits, these little moments of spellcraft, of witchcraft that you can add into your everyday activities. Maybe even I'll try doing this spell every day from now till Ostara.
Now, before we wrap up for the day, I want to point something out here. We have a listener, Brittany Faith from Florida. Brittany Faith, you know who you are. We know who you
Hi,
are.
Brittany Faith.
Here's the problem, Brittany Faith. We sent you a Yule card and it got sent back. I don't know if it was you, if it was me. It was probably me, to be honest with you. And it said insufficient address, but I swear to God, I copied it exactly how you wrote it. But apparently, the post office disagrees with me. So, Brittany Faith from Florida, I am so sorry you didn't get a Yule card, but for some reason, me and the post office can't agree on your address.
Email us at backonthebroomstick@gmail.com. Let us know what your actual address is, and we will resend you your Yule card. I think that's pretty much it. It is cold and it is dark here. I'm going to go light some candles and celebrate this beautiful Imbolc the way it should be.
I'm actually going to go do another tarot pull.
Ooh, tarot cards, simmer pots, candles. Sounds like an amazing Imbolc night to me. I hope you are staying warm and enjoying this Imbolc. Hopefully Punxsutawney Phil has a prediction that brings spring closer sooner.
Okay, I'm looking for him to see his shadow because if I am not mistaken, if he sees his shadow, spring is coming sooner, even though we know that spring comes in March no matter what. And I just want warmth, man.
Me too. Bring back the sun, dang it.
Bring back the sun.
Thank you so much for listening to Back on the Broomstick. Please like, subscribe, leave us a review. It really helps the show out and it helps listeners to find us, and we really appreciate it. We will see you next Friday. In the meantime, stay wise, stay wicked,
And be warm and witchy.